Alright, if I'm not mistaken, I should be live. Yes, I am indeed live. Alright. Hello everybody, good morning RGL. Happy early Sunday. Hopefully you've had a fun marathon so far. It's really fun to see Retrothon back. Always good times to take part in this, and yeah, I figured I'd throw in some more things this year, and this is actually the earliest game that I've submitted, or the youngest game that I've submitted so far. This is a game that was released a couple of years ago, called Beard Blade. Very fun little indie platformer, and it's I mean, what can I say? There's enough to talk about. Let's just go into the game and we'll talk about some more. So time starts as soon as I select a new game. That's in 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, you wonder what is this Beard Blade thing about? You'll see. So this is like the story. Starts off with these sheep on this ship, and they basically got stolen by these smugglers. And this is our hero here, Brenton. He's got a pretty nice little beard here. Who's this farmer, and yeah, he's trying to retrieve a sheep. So that's kind of how the story starts. It's this 2D platformer. As you could possibly tell from the visuals, it's very much... It's a very colorful thing, very 16-bit inspired. You'll see some throwbacks to various games as well. Very fun stuff there. So this first level is a little bit of a tutorial, kind of teaching you how to do things, and also introducing you to some of the earlier stuff. Like in this case, we're running into this guy who's held up here called Forbeau. We have to save him. And so a little bit more of dialogue. So it turns out this Forbeau guy has magic powers. And he's like, well, I can, give your beard magical powers and make it do things and make it sentient and all that. And you can probably start to figure out where the name of the game is coming from, because Beard Blade, yeah, you can do things with your beard, including turning it into a blade apparently, so... And we're going to use it here to break open this gate here. So, this will be my main attacking method. My beard is basically a shape-shifting thing where it can take various shapes, like it has the shape of a sword, or in this case a punch if I drop down for something, and both will be used throughout the game. Gonna break some boxes here, navigate the ship. So yeah, throughout the game you'll see various bits and pieces of speed tech, like certain small optimization. I'm trying to go for smaller optimizations, like those jumps where you reach higher platforms and such. This part is a bit RNG. You actually sidestepped exactly on time. Anyway, this is the first quote-unquote boss of sorts. It's pretty simple. We have to make sure that we avoid these cannonballs that are being launched, so we have to watch for that red light there and stand here so it can hit that spring, and then the cannonball gets returned back to this guy here. Also a good time to observe our pajamas. We've got some nice pajamas right now. We won't be wearing them forever. We're about to get off the ship, but enjoy. Because now we have this cape. Now we truly have the introduction here. So this cape actually makes us able to float a little bit in the air. You can compare it a little bit to Super Mario World, for instance. Anyway, that's the tutorial level. We've been sort of calling it that. It's not really like an official name for that, but we've been sort of calling it that because it kind of teaches you things, and I guess so. Yeah. But yeah, now that we're being thrown on this island here, Pimento Island, we can truly start, and this is where you see the game in all its glory. I've always found the visuals to be really gorgeous, and it really shows in this daytime themed level. And there's also the nighttime levels, because each level from now on, or basically each level, will have 2 stage sides. You can sort of compare it to something like Wario Land 3, where you can swap around and play different level sides, but it really does a lot to vary in the level designs. And also for the speedrun, we'll be mostly playing it pretty straightforwardly, but we will eventually swap up a couple of times because certain level sides are actually quicker. So at the end of each level, we encounter these smuglins who are carrying the sheep, and then we save the sheep. So how is that for an ending for a stage? So as you can now see, it's gone from AM to PM. So now we play the next level in the evening, which means we're gonna climb up here, climb up some palm trees. This is a very vertical stage, so we'll be climbing quite a few of these, and we're going to be jumping on some enemies, because you can do that. You can get a little boost off of them. Like that. There's some cycles that you may want to watch out for. Oh, oops. I almost fell there. Yeah, it starts off, pretty easily, I guess, still. So this is any percent, which means we won't be collecting anything else in addition. I'll point it out as soon as we get to the menu, to the collection screen again, the item collection screen. But you can collect various items in the stages, and that also goes for if you're playing the separate sides, really. So you see it indicated what items you've collected in either AM or PM. But yeah, if you would collect 100%, it would be quite a longer game, of course. Okay, we're in the caverns. This is mostly a hold right stage if everything goes well. So I'm gonna see if I can live up to that promise. Okay. Because there's gaps there, I have to watch out for those. It's always nice if I get those like right away, so I don't have to wait for those. There we go. Okay, so we're collecting these coins as well. That really goes for the smaller coins. We will be eventually setting up for something of a money grind, which will be used for item upgrades eventually. So I have to make sure that I collect a certain amount. The bigger coins are collectibles, and those don't actually those I don't really have to collect necessarily. I'm pretty sure they would be worth a lot more, but they're not necessary for this category. We're in this part. We got bats, everyone's friend. Our beard is so strong that it can actually push blocks. How about that? It's very strong. Let's see. Oh yeah, I need to go here. It's so tempting to constantly head to the right and then realize, oh, I have to actually make a jump there. But, oh good. Oh, oops. Too much momentum, that can still happen, I guess. I mostly want to make sure that I preserve my health, because I want to do a couple damage boosts over here, and also just before the ending of the level, which involves running past these spiky little... They kind of resemble me of certain Super Mario World enemies, and I am totally at a loss of what the name was of them again, and I'm pretty sure I knew it at some point, but yeah. But anyway, it's another smuggling fight. Notable is that there's a bit of a variation here, because normally you would have this platform that the smuggling is jumping towards, and now there's like this variation where we have to spot where the smuggling is appearing, which makes it tougher to one cycle initially, since we don't do as much damage compared to later on. But if we can get there quickly enough and line ourselves up so we can do all of the hits, then it will be a lot quicker. So yeah, now we got the climb beard, and as the title suggests, you can climb or you can hold on to certain bars and you can pull yourself up, and that's very cool. And that's what we're gonna use here. We're gonna be staying here for a little bit, and we're gonna set up for this. I was mentioning the money grind. We're gonna collect an amount of 2,500 coins as soon as we have finished this level, and that means we're gonna get to around 2,400 in this part. And that's really handy because this top right corner actually holds 80 coins, so we can just enter and re-enter the room and just grab those coins. Yeah, there's a couple people who actually have run this before, and in the beginning with the initial routing, I think this whole grind took like minutes longer. Now it's a little under 2 minutes in total, but I think it used to take like 8 or 9 minutes or so. There didn't used to be that many coins supposedly in the top right corner either. And in addition, most doors, if you go through them, they'll get locked up as soon as you go through them. This is the only door that stays open, so you can just enter and re-enter. And that's really cool because it makes this a lot easier to try and set this up with, try and set up this grind with. There we go. Just gotta make sure to actually pull myself up. I've had it happen that I would still fall down there, and you can still grab those coins, of course, but it takes a little bit longer to get there. See, twice more, and that should be good. Yeah. Because now we have a little bit over 2,400, and that's basically enough for this here. Okay, this guy's being mean. There's a bit of RNG involved, I think, with that enemy. He tends to do that, which is, yeah. I mean, I try to pull myself up there as quickly as possible, and that still happens, but it's a small thing. But yeah, now we're going to be traveling through the rest of this, which involves this minecart section of sorts. Although we're just standing on this minecart platform, if you like. And we got some of these gaps, and also these boulders that are dropping. I gotta make sure not to get hit by them because knockback is very real. I'm basically assuming that if I try and jump over a gap and I'm hitting one of those boulders, I will basically get knocked back and I will fall into the pit, like, period. That's something I should keep in mind, really. Yeah, you can never be too careful with that. As is proven. Well, it's a good thing that I was able to point it out and then also was able to prove that, I guess. I haven't had that happen in quite a long time, but I was actually trying to see if I could still get ahead of that, and, well, I guess not. That's a good thing there's checkpoints here. So there's some hair-themed assets in this game, I guess, and also with... Oh my god, I actually got knocked back from that, and I still managed to survive that. Okay, we're good though. So now we go back to the traditional smuggling fight here. Thanks to that death there, I actually was able to collect enough coins for this one, so usually I wind up with a little over 2,500, but yeah. Yeah, more hair-related things, because we're gonna get some upgrades, and we're heading to this barbershop. And this fork bow guy is back again, because he also turns out to be a hairdresser. gonna sell us all these upgrades here. We're gonna get 2 upgrades. So we're gonna use the 2,500 coins for, and I'll show you, also for myself, the Brawn Vitamin makes us a little bit stronger. And we got this thing called the Rolling Bit Wash, which is supposedly really expensive, and it's a one-time only sale. And what does it do? Well, it does this. So now we've basically given ourselves some extra movement tech, and this is going to be used a lot throughout the rest of the run. So yeah, a little bit in, and then suddenly we can roll, and you know, so you can basically spot the 16-bit references there. So yeah, now we go into this lighthouse, and we find Barnacle Hook Barley, who is holding this girl captive in this bag, which is not good. We gotta save the girl, so. So this fight is basically scripted, so I want to make sure that I throw those barrels back, and eventually the bombs, because the bombs will be what attack this boss. And it's always the same pattern really, so it's 3 barrels and then a bomb. And this part is also scripted in that the regular bomb spawns always happen at the same time. So if everything goes well, this will take exactly as much time every single time I want to do this. So there we go. I've always found this fight to be pretty interesting because there's like a couple of very seemingly random phases. So now we have this whole series of chains that are trying to attack me, but I can, if everything goes well, yeah, I'll be able to stay here and just you know, take a sip of my coffee. So gotta hydrate at some point, right? So there's that, and then few more hits there, and see, I gotta push and then do this very lovely beard yeet. There it goes. Goodbye. Like I said, this beard is pretty strong. So now we saved this girl. This is Mora. She also lives on this island, and now there's a bit of dialogue. They're talking about these orbs. Because one thing I didn't point out in the beginning is we got yeeted off the boat because there's this one sheep that was carrying this orb, and that started to glow, and that just yeeted everybody off the boat there. So yeah, now we wind up collecting these subsequent orbs as well. Although they're like, okay, this might be pretty strong, and then they're agreeing that Branson should hold on to those for now. So, you know, you'll be seeing that on the item collection screen as well. So this is the first one that we have indeed collected. So yeah, I guess that's like the first actual boss fight in a sense. So there we go. We're now heading into Anato Forest. Gonna be rolling here. Gonna get past the spooter. I must say I've always liked this tune as well. It's very evocative of forest at nighttime, I think. And the music in general is really good too. As are the visuals. 4 AM, yeah. It's especially early morning for quite a few of you, I guess. Alright, now we have this Clairvoyant who's gonna chase us. But we have rolling mechanics, so we don't have to worry about it necessarily. Just gotta stay ahead, you know? Just gotta stay ahead. So in this room, I'm trying to get to the other side somewhat quickly because I want to make a certain cycle so I can jump over a certain thing. Namely this little scarecrow here, or, well, quote-unquote scarecrow. I'm using that enemy to hop on and jump over there so that I can do that without having to wait. So if I get there quickly enough, I'll actually have a pretty decent window, so that's pretty nice. I hope you feel better soon, Rayo. Rayo's coming up with a whole Lolo block. So be sure to check that out. So yeah, that was the first part of the forest. One thing I didn't point out was I now had like increased my damage thanks to the bronze vitamin, so I can do stronger attacks, which also means that I can one-cycle these Smuglins quite a bit easier. And now we've got a balloon stage, which is always fun, especially given that it's surrounded by gaps, and that's always fun. And I'm also sometimes trying to go for certain swag, and you know, that can go certain ways. Okay, there we go, and then yeah, I'm just gonna wait here. Sometimes it's good to be patient, especially if you've lost a life, then, you know, still good there. It would be nice if I could do this level especially quick, just also with the risks involved and such. But on pace, I tend to play certain parts a little bit safer. Really have to see where it's heading. Yeah, this build is quite epic. Although, I would say not that many bearded people would have all of these powers, so in that sense I would say it's unique. Oh yeah, I could have rolled underneath that one. That's fine. So this is also a pretty fun level in terms of movement tech. It does introduce us to roll cancelling, more or less. At least I like to think of it as the introductory stage in that sense. So I'm gonna try and see if I can do it over here as well. Because there's a little sequence break here. That's... I've gotten. There we go. So it's a initially tight setup. Takes some practice, I guess, to get it right, but it's pretty satisfying. It's a little sequence break there. You have to time the jump off there and then do the subsequent roll cancel. So there's quite a few things involved, but yeah. No, not yet, no. Alright, so yeah, this is the next boss fight. It's once again somewhat... Well, a different boss fight, I would say. It's not quite what you would think it would be, but you'll see soon enough. So yeah, we have these sisters who are trying to come after me, because I look pretty sus apparently. So you have that, and then in the meantime we have these Lion King inspired sequences, I guess. If you think the stampede and the like, except there's not a stampede, but you're jumping over things with certain timings. That's how I've seen it anyway. This next one we can easily avoid by doing this. Gotta make sure not to run back too far or I'll take damage. Although with 3 health I am still in a somewhat safe spot, so nothing to worry about there. So now we have the boomerang, we just have to jump over that. That's not too bad, it's just that the boomerang arrives a little bit sooner than you would think, so as long as you keep that in mind, that's not too bad. And then we, last but not least, have this spike ball here on a chain that's being thrown. We could just hug the right side of the screen as much as possible and then just jump whenever we need to. It's really easy. Up. That's a weird thing. That orb, I want to instantly grab it, and for some reason I cannot somehow touch it until like a couple moments later somehow. It's weird. But Anyway, orb. We got one. All right, now we're on this shipyard, where there's also going to be some cool stages and some pretty tricky ones. So here we're spinning some wheels in order to make these platforms appear. This guy is way closer than I thought he would be, but that's fine. So upcoming is another little sequence break where we try to, skip a certain section. It's, well, again, not super long, but it does save time, so it looks pretty cool. So gonna see if I can do that as soon as we get here, because I wound up taking a little bit of a damage boost, and in my iframes I'm gonna jump out this guy and then make my way up here. Easy enough. I hope you didn't blink. All right. Okay, so now upcoming, I was mentioning level sides. We've been basically doing a pretty straightforward run of this so far, just playing every single level that we won't encounter, but this is the first time we're actually swapping sides. Because this part, during the daytime, is... I think this is like one of the auto-scroller stages. Anyway, it is longer than this level is. So, here we get to swim in the water, encounter these friendly sea creatures called Cousteaus. Got these sea urchins, which definitely hurt, also in this game. So this little gap here, this is where you can grab one of the extra coins. It's also a little bit faster. It was not found out until later that you could actually go through there, through that gap, crouch through there, and have a little bit of a shortcut there. So that's pretty cool. Now get this level, or this part, with some really big sprites here. The cyberpunk vibes are kind of real, I guess. So I'm gonna wait here. So another fun thing is with this rolling mechanic, you can hop on water. How's that for a trick? This song is pretty cool, yeah. I was saying the music in this game, there's some coming up that some songs coming up that are also really cool, but this is also a very pleasant jam. Yeah, I know, right? It's so cool. You can just hop, you can just roll on water. Honestly, I think that's pretty neat. Okay, I'm gonna visit Forbo briefly, just to swap levels, because it's still faster than doing all the menuing. So just going there is a little bit faster that way. So now with this shipwreck, which got some chain climbing strats and whatnot. See if I can get through everything just fine. Oh, wait a second, was this I think I was supposed to do a thing there. Maybe I just forgot. Oh, this is the part, so gonna... Ooh, okay, fine. I was gonna just roll jump there, but I kind of goofed up at some point. That's fine. See... Yeah, if I get here quickly enough, I can actually make it before the next set of cannonballs. But now I had to wait it out a little bit. Yeah, this can be a pretty quick level. And this fight too. Okay, we're gonna do a swap here once again, even though it's a little bit longer to get back to Forbo to do the swap, but I think I timed it at some point and it was still a little bit faster. But anyway, we're gonna play this in the nighttime once again. This is definitely a potential run killer. It's also, let's just say it's always nice if I can do this level without dying, because there's some obstacles here that are definitely challenging. And some stuff I would sometimes go for. Maybe not this time though. like this gap. I'm gonna take this a little bit safer. Then do this. I can line myself up here, so I can do this, and then small jump here. I love these flying. They actually have names. I know some of the enemy names from. I know some of the enemy names directly. Just those guys I don't know exactly what they're called, but anyway, just wrapping it up with this little roll jump here. I do love that one especially. Really, it just feels like a really satisfying wrap up to this level. It's like, okay, time for victory. Here we go. Okay, and then it's time for another boss fight. We've left the shipyard. Now going to Piri Cliffs, where it was going to be a perfectly ordinary level, then the floor had to collapse somehow. I mean, yeah, that's how it goes. Now we have lava, and we have this boss called Din. Yeah, I'm basically gonna see if I can stay alive through all of this. Oh, oops. I was not gonna throw that direction. That's fine. Because you have to toss these a couple of times, and then yeah, I hope that they somehow hit. And also, yeah, there's a bit of RNG involved, I guess, in where they tend to drop. So if they're more nearby, it tends to be more favorable, but it tends to vary. So this next part, there's some fire here. Then trying to get all of the attacks in ASAP. And thanks to the Bronze Vitamin, it's more doable to do it in this one cycle. Then we have these tentacles, which I'm trying to attack. See, there we go. And this last one, I actually missed a hit there. There we go. Yeah, I'm almost glad when I'm able to do this boss fight without dying, because there tend to be things where you would, especially in that last phase, where you would have the floor collapse and suddenly you would die or something. And if you get to that point, you would lose like a minute easily, I think, or almost a minute. So it's just nice if you can get through without too much issue. All right, now we're into slightly spookier territory, I think. This is Michi's Manor. Here we have this introduction. We're seeing some of those kids. So let's go inside this little theater here, see what that's about. Because here's this Michi the Magnificent. And there's going to be some sort of performance here apparently, and turns out one of the kids got kidnapped. Oh no. This can be good. And then turns out all the other kids are getting kidnapped as well, and I have to rescue them. So that basically sets up for the next few stages. And as another bonus, I have 1 heart less, so I will now have 2 HP instead of 3 for the time being, which will add an extra challenge to the next few stages. Because usually I would be able to do a damage boost here and there, and that window becomes a little bit smaller. But yeah, let's just deal with that whilst we enjoy the song of this greenhouse. Feel free to jam along if you like. So this level, oh goodness, I actually fell. I barely made that. Yeah, this is also a pretty tough level. You also have this thing where you have this this bar indicating how much oxygen you still have left, because yeah, it's that kind of space. Okay, if I get here quickly enough, I can actually make this cycle. No big deal. There's some cool stuff you can do here. I'm gonna opt out of that for now. Gonna see if I can do at least this jump here, because it's actually a surprisingly tight jump, but we'll see if I can get it a couple of times, and otherwise I'm just gonna go with the original plan. Because I was gonna do a wrong jump and then barely make it towards the bubble. But sometimes I don't seem to really get the timing, which, yeah, seems weird, but that's how it is. At least I gave it a few tries. Yeah, as soon as you get to those bubbles, your oxygen will briefly be refilled, so you can, just wait there for a little bit. And then we got this last part. Oh, wow, that one really tried to get me. Let's see. Gonna jump across here, and that should be it. So these stages, they have a funny little quirk in that I can get there, but I don't have to like actually finish up the stage. So I get there and there's the kid that I've rescued, and there's also the sheep. And basically I'm gonna save the kid, but not the sheep. So the thing is, there's a checkpoint indicator apparently, where as soon as you get to that room, it already registers the level as being beaten. So I don't actually have to do that whole thing. So that saves a little bit of time. Oh god, I was not paying attention, I nearly fell. Yeah, so anyway, this next level is basically a video game within a video game. So this is made by a team of 2 developers, one who did the programming and one who did all the visuals and such, I believe. And they still found the opportunity to make a video game within a video game for one level, which is really cool. So it's even more of a throwback than the main game itself is. Yeah, the hype has begun. Yeah, it's so good to have Retrothon back again. It's also one of my favorite times of the year, honestly. It's those fun times. Ooh. Oh, God. Okay. I was standing a little bit too close there. Yeah, still only 2 health, so I can only take 1 damage before I'm about to, get absolutely destroyed. So yeah, once again, same thing here. Save the kid, don't save the sheep, apparently. We don't care about the sheep anymore. So yeah, the icons are kind of indicating what side of the stage you have to play. So in this case, we have to play the night side, the nighttime side of the stage. And in this case, we're getting a little game of red sign, green sign. So we actually have to wait and see what the sign says. If there's a green sign, we can keep walking. If there's a red sign, we have to stop. And as soon as we start walking again or running, we will actually take damage. You can, however, crouch, but that's not nearly as fast as anything else would have been. So in this case, I have to wait. I was about to hit the platform, I'm pretty sure. That's fine. Let's see, we had a checkpoint here. Yeah, this is still one of those levels where RNG is definitely a factor, because sometimes you get nothing but red signs and sometimes you get green signs, and that's a lot better, but yeah, you have to deal with what you got, right? See, this is so much better. Look at this go. And at some point, you'll disappear again. It then won't return until the next screen, so there's a couple of rounds, I guess. Okay, I'm gonna grab this as a safety. There's a safety heart here, so that's pretty cool. If you would please let me... This is so wonky. They're really not... They really don't want me to take this spring like it, or this jump like at all, will they? They will not let me on there. No fun allowed. Anyway. One more stage to go. We're going back to where we came from, which was Michi's Manor. So I've always likened that first part to being a sort of introduction, because you're not really doing all that much, and then you return here, and that's where you kind of really start doing things. Although in the regular game, there's also another level side where you can see a lot more. It's just that in the speedrun, you don't really get to see a lot beyond these couple of screens. Anyway, now we have this wooden puppet version of ourselves we're fighting here, Brannikin. Which is definitely quite a sight. And we have to attack as soon as the mouth is open. So that means there's once again some RNG involved. Just hoping that I get some decent RNG. If I get some decent RNG. There you go. Oops. Okay, though I was a bit scared there because I had to make sure that I still was able to finish this fight. Otherwise I had to redo the fight, which would have cost a little bit of time. But yeah, there's some patterns that are especially good, which you didn't see here, but there's one that can make you able to do 4 hits, which is especially good, because that's over half of what you have to do. Because with a Brawn Vitamin, you have to do 7 hits. So that would have taken you past the halfway point, but in this case, we had some better RNG where, you know, hands were being thrown and mouths weren't being opened, so, you know, couldn't do much about that. Anyway, the kids are saved, so hooray. And we got an orb. Everything is well again. So that concludes these stages here. We're about to head in here, and this is getting a little bit closer to the end. So gonna do one more level swap, and then we're heading into Smuggling Industries. There's gonna be 2 levels with that theme. Because there's a lot of smuggling, so obviously there's Smuggling Industries, you know how it goes. So this level, we're following these currents. We're trying to swim across, swim through. And that also means that we have this pattern that this path that we are gonna take. Which, if you don't have to collect anything else, is not too bad. It's pretty straightforward in that sense, but yeah, especially if you want to go for all the collectibles, you have to go and backtrack quite a few times, and you have to come up for air every now and then because, you know, you're still in the water. But at least in this case, nothing to be worried about. So I guess this is another variation of the smuggling fight where there is no platform or anything whatsoever, and you still have to do like a similar setup like we used to do in the beginning, namely kind of head up to the smuggling and then have him jump over to the other side and then, you know, attack him. It isn't as instant as what we were doing for quite a while, but you can still do it pretty quickly, of course. So this next part we have these cones, which which sometimes house enemies, which is always fun. It's always the same ones at least, but sometimes it feels like a bit of a guessing game where you have no idea which one holds which. You got these forklifts, which you will use to, you know, elevate yourselves a little bit. You have to find certain spots to do that. That was a random climb bit there. Oh yeah, also there's I guess it's an industry level, so therefore there's lava? And lots of bouncing. I've had this happen a couple of times. It's been a while since I've actually died here, but yeah, still can happen, of course. Oh my god, why? This is marathon luck, I'm pretty sure. At least you don't have lives or anything, so nothing to worry about in that sense. It's just... What is happening? Why is this so wonky now? I have no idea. Okay, I guess I'll just wait then. Because you have to get up here, basically. I have no idea what happened there. That was so weird. Like, that... Apparently, if you restart from the checkpoint, it actually sets up for this somewhat unfavorable pattern or something, but... Okay, well, whatever. It's fine. Get up here. Thank you. Okay. How dare I? Yeah, I know, right? It's so funny that it happened here, of all places. It's such a random thing to happen, but, you know. I don't think I've died this often in this level, honestly. 30 deaths in your quest, oh boy. Well, I mean, it's a lot of Lolo, so, you know. If that's what you mean, it can still happen, of course. Alright, we're back here. We're finally arriving at the last part of the game. Orzo's Oasis here. Yes, that's a food pun. Gonna make sure not to fall in the water there, otherwise it will take a little bit longer. I'm gonna wait for this spike ball. There we have more spike balls that are being launched from cannons. The good thing is there's only the one brief window where it does actually do damage to us, and that's as soon as it's actually hitting that platform. Before that and after that, nothing to worry about, which means we can just do this. Of course, they were like, well, we can also throw 3 spike balls if you want to, so obviously they do that. That's a very old classic rule there. We have to write this one. There's a couple more here that we have to jump on. And smuggling time. All right. So yeah, one more regular stage to go. So this is the fortress. Also a level that can have some shenanigans for sure. In the beginning there's 3 doors to choose from. I always choose the right one. So far that has been found to be the fastest one. It might be that the others also might be still equally fast, but at least this is a decent enough one to do, so. And as you can see, some challenges here, you have to pull yourself up and also deal with all of these cannonballs. And then this one, I'm gonna try and pull myself up just in time. Alright, now for a little bit of a cheese route there, because those who will play the game casually will probably go the top route with the slower platform, but you can actually ride this one and possibly go through this a little bit faster. I say possibly because you still have to like make sure that you don't get hit too often by these dropping spike balls, because that can definitely happen still. But if you get lucky enough, that should work out just fine. You pull yourselves up here. So it's nice if you can get some of the earlier cycles like that. Right. Exactly enough health there to be refilled. So now we meet Orzo here. And this is actually the sheep in the beginning that was carrying the one orb that caused all the other sheep and us to get yeeted off the ship. And it's being escorted away once again, so we still have to, you know, do things, and oh no. First we have to fight the supreme smuggling here. So this is a multi-parter, where the first part is not super fast or anything. You have to avoid all the attacks. Be doing stuff with the health pipe. Supposedly there's a health pipe in this part. It's pretty sweet. Okay, now for the next part, which is way more RNG heavy. The rest is scripted. This part is still to some extent RNG heavy in how these things spawn and if they will actually hit Orzo or not. Of course you hope that they will, but sometimes you still have to kind of ricochet them back and this still might not work, but... Oops. This is going very well. Time for a refill. Because yeah, depending on how that goes, it can take a little bit longer. Just gonna see what I can do there. It actually used to be possible at the beginning, when people were first running this, that you could actually cheese this fight by doing the climb beard, and you could just cheese this boss fight. They actually took that out later, sadly, so now you have to do it the regular way. Oh, I actually died there. That was unfortunate. This is one of the tougher spots to die in terms of time, because this will cost you quite a bit of time, especially if you get to the second phase. At least you don't have to do you don't have to do all the dialogue stuff again, so that's pretty nice. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, well, that one certainly escaped me. That one was getting really close. Yeah, so sometimes you try to return it and it still doesn't quite work, but... doing that, especially with the clan beard, is tough. Anyway, that was what was supposed to happen. I don't know, that was a bit rougher than usual. Like, it's been a while since I actually died there, so... still a little bit surprised, but it can happen, of course. So this is basically the same as the first phase, except a little bit faster. You know, you have to add some extra challenge, of course. And then... there we go, that's the end of that fight. So now you wonder what's up next. Surely we've had everything now. Well, we have to save that sheep, of course, but there's Forbo again. Because he's seemingly everywhere. What's up with that? We'll find out. Clearly some weird thing is gonna happen. Perhaps. We're gonna go up in the tower, and there's this bag. There's a sheep. There's Forbo here who is trying to extract the orb. And turns out that Forbo was the evil mastermind after all this time. Oh no. And all the orbs are being united, and Forbo becomes Super Saiyan. It becomes this version of Waluigi called Razar. Also with fists that kind of evoke DK94 or Donkey Kong. So this is the final boss fight. We have to stand these fists and then attack his head, and then time will be as soon as I do the last hit, so... yeah, on nose. We've been had. So there's a couple of phases, or a couple of attacks that can happen, that you can see happen. There's a couple that will allow us to do more damage, so kind of depending on how that goes, I might be able to stand on those fists for a longer amount of time. And I have to do 8 hits in total. I have to wait out for that one. There we go. And that's time. Well, at least I got still underestimated. There were some definite time losses, that's for sure. I had some weird struggles throughout the game, but anyway, we still made it. We saved the day. We saved the sheep. And Forbo was such a creep. And now they're gonna return home to the farm, and all will be well. So yeah, that's a pretty short outro. But yeah, this is Beerblade, a game by Glovebox Games. Like I said, it's a team of 2 people who have made this game, or who worked on this game. One who did the programming and one who did all the visuals, I believe. So yeah, little roll call of all these people, all these characters that we have encountered. Thanks for the GGs, everybody. Yeah, the current world record is by Junkyard Dave, actually. Is a 47:40. My current PB is about 30 seconds slower, like low 48. Gonna see if I can, if I will try and go for a world record at some point. Because I think it's possible. It's just that with a platformer like this, it's easy to gradually lose time, and especially with some of the stages that can be pretty tough, of course. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Also, fun game. Also casually. Very glad that I found out about this eventually. I think I remember I was watching Swordsman Kirby play this at some point, and that's how I discovered the game. So I don't think I've ever fully done a shout out to Swordsman Kirby, but yeah, shout outs, because otherwise I may not have heard about this game. Fun little platformer if you're into indie platformer stuff, with fun references and some good beard action right there. Yeah, it was quite a roll call. Yeah, that was this run. Glad I finally got to I got to show this off for all of you. Hope you enjoyed. This is the first of my Retrothon runs. I'll be popping up here and there a couple of times throughout the week. I will be doing something later today after all of the low stuff will have happened. I will be back with Yogo Yogo, which is actually a retro thing, a DOS game from the mid-90s called Yogo Yogo. It's a Dutch platformer, so that should be fun. And in the meantime, enjoy, and I'll see you very soon, hopefully. So that's all I have. I'm signing off. Take care.